Well, hello there again. So, now I will do my review for Fairy Tale Manga Chapter 377, entitled Imperial Wrath of the Heavenly Dragon, and Chapter 378, with friends always. But before going to that, uh, I must refer that besides these two chapters, there was also a Fairy Tale Special 2, entitled She's Erza, and it was about a small adventure with Urza in a town against a female thief and such. So it was funny to read that chapter, and I honestly think that if in the future series, if you do have to have some filler, better to be a filler made by the mangaka than by the one that is writing the series, I think, unless he is in close contact with the mangaka of the manga. So in that way, probably these specialists probably, or it's quite possible to become kind of filler during the series, most likely. So, but it was a very good special, a lots of fun service, like always, but it was good to have a small chapter kind of dedicated to Urza, that is one of my favorite characters of Fairy Tale. Now, on to the two chapters. Basically, the first chapter mainly focus on the fight between Wendy and Ezel from Tartarus, uh, and Wendy uses the several abilities related with the Dragon Force mode that she activated or achieved in the last chapter. The chapter is essentially the fight between Wendy and Ezel, so there is not much plot development. There are some cool panels with her fighting using her powers. Um, her character design was interesting because we do see that in the beginning of the chapter, there is a small color page with her activating Dragon Force mode, so it looks cool. It looks cool. So and eventually she is able to defeat Ezel with great difficulty, and at the same time she kind of destroys the shell of Face. On other way, we see first we also see Ezel transforming like the other members of Tartars eventually, but eventually he gets plunged into the shell of Face and it kind of shatters. But the magic is not deactivated, so the magic continues to run. The shell was destroyed, Azel was defeated, but the magical countdown to the activation of Face was not stopped by that. And roughly that's the chapter, and what's happened in the chapter 377. Now, on chapter 378, we have some panels with others fighting. We have Erza still fighting against Kyoka. We have Grey still fighting against that school dude. We have Amira fighting against Scylla inside the Tartarus headquarters, obviously. We have still Natsu fighting against Franwald with the spirit or the soul of Hades. Uh, and then we go to the cave where Face is. We see Zell defeated, and we see Wendy run out of power. And eventually, Charles, that was kind of wounded, she kind of advances for the mechanism of detonation, and she says to Wendy that she found a way in his powers of vision of the future. She found a way or a path that the face was not activated. However, he, she could not see past that. So this kind of, in a way, kind of implies that they will be dying from the blast of the activating phase. She kind of urges Wendy to go out away, but Wendy says she will not leave Charles because of their story together since the start, since they are younger. And secondly, she also says that she does not have any power to run away. So, in a way or in another, she will be killed. So she kind of decided to help Charles and click the activation mechanism of rewriting the codes and making the energy kind of blow up. And this chapter is kind of since the start kind of gives the feeling of tragedy, the feeling that Charles and Wendy are going to die and such. But this is fairy tale, so no characters related with fairy tale usually die unless they turn evil. So but it was a good chapter in the sense that kind of gave us the sense of danger. It kind of gave us the sense of tragedy in a way. So it's kind of different to change the pace of the story, even if for a bit. And eventually, they both Wendy and Charles are indeed saved by Doran Bolt that arrives and saves Earth, the Earth too. And then we see the magic of face blowing up. So they kind of diffused face, and that's the chapter. So and then at the end of the chapter, we see that we will now be entering the third part of the arc against Tartarus, uh, entitled "The King of Hades." So I think that probably we will see in this part who is the guild master of Tartarus, and if is in fact Natsu in an evil version of Natsu. Because there are some speculation that the end uh, uh, the Grand Master of Tartarus could be a evil version of Natsu. So I don't know. I'm quite partial toward that option, but I don't know. Since the stuff with the rogue from the future and stuff, I do not know. Nonetheless, I think that we will see in this continuation, in the part 3 against the arc against Tartarus, probably we will see or we will know who is the master of Tartarus. So I'm looking forward to it. So this is it. This is my review for Fairy Tail chapters 377 and 378. Hope you enjoy. Stay well, peace, and see you soon.